y'all? Farmer Dre back at it. It's another cold, crisp day here on the farm. I'm out here in the strawberry field, and today I want to talk to you guys, how often do we fertilize strawberries and when do we change to nitrogen and how the whole process works. So I'm going to get into it. So for the next month or so, I'm going to try something new on the channel. If you guys have any questions or video ideas or anything, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. And with each comment I get, I'm going to try to make a full video on explaining whatever you guys want to know about apples, peaches, blueberries, blackberries, tomatoes, strawberries, flowers, zinnias, sunflowers, just anything, tulips now. So I'm going to try this out, see if it works out. So I'm going to try to answer your guys' questions video by video, go in depth on certain topics. So if you guys have any questions, ideas, or anything like that, go and leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to respond. And of course, try to make a video on them for the next month or so to see how this system works and how the format works. So today I'm actually answering one of your guys' questions, and someone commented, how often do we fertilize strawberries and when do we switch to nitrogen? And we're gonna go ahead and get into that right now. So on the strawberries, there's many ways we fertilize. Well, not many ways. There's only two ways we fertilize. Is either we fertilize dry before we plant the strawberries, or we fertigate or fertilize through the irrigation system after we get them planting. And we also fertilize in the fall through the irrigation system, and we also fertilize in the spring through the irrigation system. So in the fall, before we plant, so whenever we are working up the dirt in August and part of September, depending on the weather conditions, I like to put down 100 actual pounds of nitrogen per acre, 75 of P and K, so the actual units of fertilizer dry. So that's the pelletized form that you broadcast. And then after we get them planting, I usually like to use a triple 20 fertilizer, just a triple 20% nitrogen, 20% phosphorus, 20% potassium to help those root systems and the crowns develop. So the goal in the fall with strawberries is to try to develop as many crowns in the root system so that in the spring they go ahead and bloom and then we have a crop. So I like to fertilize depending on the year and how much rain we're getting. But I like to fertilize at least 3 times in the fall season. So in the fall months right after planting. So 1 week after planting and then 3 weeks after that I fertilize with a triple 20. Or like this past season I had a bunch of leftover starter fertilizer left, which a starter fertilizer is a high phosphorus. So it's like 15, 48, 20 or something like that. But yeah, just try to fertilize them in the fall 3 times. In the spring, this is when we switch to nitrogen. So with strawberries, you should already have enough potassium and phosphorus in the soil from this fall when you broadcasted the fertilizer out before you made your beds and planted. And of course, if you did use any type of potassium or phosphorus in the drip system in the fall. And then in the spring months, whenever we, on our farm here, whenever we get started, I use calcium nitrate. So calcium nitrate is a 15.500, so it has 15.5% nitrogen and 0% potassium and phosphorus. So it is a calcium nitrate. It has to actually have some calcium in them. And I use that starting about the first part of March through harvest. So that's March, April, and May. So that is 3 months. So I am fertilizing about 12 weeks, 12 to 15 weeks in the spring months. And what I use is calcium nitrate, like I mentioned, but I like to put down 7 pounds of actual nitrogen per acre per week. So like back here, this section to the center there, I believe is like 15 rows. So this right here is 1 acre. There's about 15,000 plants back here. It's a little more than an acre, but this is how I like to calculate it, is 1 acre. So I get a 50-pound bag of fertilizer. So a 50-pound bag of calcium nitrate is 50 pounds, of course, in actual weight. But if you take 50 pounds and you multiply that by a percent form of the numbers on the back. So if you take 15.5, you take that in decimal form. So 0.155 times 50 pounds, that's 7.5 pounds of actual nitrogen in a bag of fertilizer. So I use 1 entire bag of fertilizer per acre every single week through harvest. So on 1 acre of ground, the entire spring months, We are using between 12 and 15 50-pound bags of fertilizer, and I've seen great results with that. It works. Now that the science behind this at the University of Florida was made back in the 70s and 80s, and it was mainly used on the variety Chandler. So that's always been the standard, is to do 7 pounds per week of actual fertilizer on Chandlers. But now with these newer varieties, like we have Ruby June and Fawn Terrace planted, they're asking for more fertilizer. So I'm gonna mess with that this past spring. I heard in some situations you want to double the fertilizer on Ruby June because they have a little bit of a day neutral or ever bearing in them, and the more you fertilize them, the more the production they put out in the spring. But the standard has always been 7 pounds of actual N per acre per week through harvest. Like I mentioned, that has been the standard for many, many, many years. So I've used it for the past 3 years here on the farm. This is my 4th year actually planting strawberries here on our farm. So I'm still new to the strawberry game. So I'm always learning. I'm always going to growers conference, always, reading on articles to see, hey, what's the newest, greatest, best way of growing strawberries. So that's a quick rundown of how we fertilize our strawberries. And like I mentioned, in the fall season, whenever we are fertilizing through the irrigation system, I usually like to use a triple 20, and then in the spring I switch over to the nitrogen and we use a calcium nitrate. Alrighty, y'all, so if you guys want these exact same fertilizers like I mentioned, go ahead and check out the link down in the description box below, or go to farmerdresupply.com. That's where you're able to find all the fertilizers and irrigation systems you guys need to grow a beautiful, beautiful strawberry crop like I do. Alright, y'all, this is gonna be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and comment down your question down below. Like I mentioned, any question, any comments that I can make a full video, any misunderstanding about any crops you grow, go ahead and leave down in the comment section below. I'm going to do my best to answer those questions through a full video. So this is going to be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time.